Hold on to your seats, because the industry's ultimate truth-teller has just opened a whole new can of worms. Katt Williams is back at it again, and this time, his unfiltered dangerous spotlight is shining directly on LATTO's hidden past. For years, LATTO has built an empire as the untouchable Atlanta rap princess, but Katt just pulled back the curtain on a chapter of her life that was meant to stay buried forever. But here is the real plot twist that has the entire internet losing its mind. 21 Savage never saw this coming. For years, 21 and LATTO have fiercely protected their romance and privacy. But sources say Katt's sudden exposure of LATTO's early industry alliances and secret blueprints has left 21 completely blindsided and furious. Is Katt exposing standard industry hustle, or did he just uncover a secret that could break hip-hop's favorite power couple? Don't blink, because we are breaking down the shocking details 21 Savage didn't expect to hear. To understand why this situation has completely blown up the internet, we have to look closely at the man who started it all, Katt Williams. Now, we all know that whenever Katt Williams steps up to a microphone, the entire entertainment industry collectively holds its breath. Ever since his legendary internet-breaking interview on Club Shay Shay, Katt has cemented his legacy not just as a comedic genius, but as Hollywood's ultimate, unfiltered whistleblower. He is a man who fears absolutely nobody, respects no secret industry contracts, and has made it his personal mission to expose the smoke and mirrors behind mainstream celebrity culture. Lately, inside sources and backstage reports indicate that Katt has turned his focus toward the rap game. Specifically, how the modern generation of female rap stars are manufactured, packaged, and sold to the public. And this is exactly where LATTO's name entered the conversation. According to industry insiders, Katt didn't just throw casual shade. He allegedly began breaking down what he calls the industry blueprint. To the average fan who scrolls through TikTok or streams Spotify, LATTO's rise to the top looks like a classic story of hard work, raw talent, and organic success. She is the big energy superstar, the Atlanta rap princess who conquered the charts. But according to the narrative Katt is bringing to light, there is a much deeper, highly calculated history behind her persona, a hidden past that dates back way further than most of her modern fanbase even realizes. To truly dissect what Katt is putting on blast, we have to take a trip down memory lane, back to a time before LATTO was filling up arenas. Long before she was topping the Billboard charts, she was a young, ambitious teenager competing on Lifetime's reality television show, The Rap Game, under her original moniker, Miss Mulatto. Now, while the public saw a young girl fighting for a record deal with Jermaine Dupri, Katt Williams is allegedly pointing out that this was the exact moment she entered the complex machinery of the music industry. Behind the scenes of reality television, deals are made, allegiances are formed, and young artists are often introduced to powerful figures who control the strings of mainstream media. Katt's commentary suggests that LATTO's early career involved navigating a web of hidden industry alliances, gatekeepers, and strategic partnerships that completely reshaped her trajectory. The core of Katt's exposure revolves around the concept of identity shifting in Hollywood. He reportedly argues that major labels and shadow executives don't just sign talent, they rewrite an artist's history to fit whatever narrative sells best at the moment. When LATTO transitioned from her teenage reality TV image into the fierce mainstream rap persona we see today, it wasn't just an organic evolution. Katt implies it was a meticulously engineered rebranding strategy. Sources claim Katt hinted at specific closed-door agreements and early career associations that LATTO had to maintain in order to secure her spot at the high table of hip-hop. These are the chapters of her life that were supposed to be locked away in executive vaults, the struggles, the political compromises, and the corporate blueprints that built the star we know today. But why does this matter so much right now? It matters because LATTO is currently at the absolute peak of her career, basking in the glory of massive hits and heavy media attention. When you are at the top, the last thing you want is a legendary figure like Katt Williams pulling back the curtain and telling the world that your success was part of a calculated corporate design rather than pure, uninterrupted hustle. Katt's unfiltered breakdown essentially challenges the authenticity of her entire brand. He is forcing the audience to ask the uncomfortable question: how much of what we see in the music industry is real, and how much of it is a carefully scripted illusion? This explosive breakdown has sent shockwaves through the Atlanta music scene, causing fans and critics alike to start digging through old archives, old interviews, and forgotten forum threads to piece together LATTO's early days. The internet is already dividing into two fierce camps: those who believe Katt is just speaking raw truths about how Hollywood operates, and those who believe he is unfairly targeting a female artist who worked her way up from the bottom. But regardless of where you stand, one thing is absolutely undeniable. The dominoes have started to fall, and the collateral damage from this exposure is hitting much closer to home than anyone anticipated. Katt Williams didn't just shake up LATTO's world. He threw a massive wrench into a very delicate, highly protected relationship status. And that brings us directly to the man who was completely left in the dark, 21 Savage. Now that the blueprint has been laid bare and Katt Williams has completely shattered the illusion surrounding the industry machinery, we have to look at the immediate collateral damage. And that brings us straight to the most shocking angle of this entire saga, 21 Savage. To truly understand why 21 Savage is reportedly furious and completely caught off guard, you have to understand the sheer level of dedication, time, and effort he has put into keeping his personal life under lock and key. In an era where hip-hop couples broadcast every single argument, luxury gift, and private vacation on Instagram Live, 21 Savage and LATTO have been the ultimate anomaly. Since the rumors of their romance first surfaced back in 2020, they have operated like a secret society. They avoided red carpets together, dodged direct interview questions, and went to extreme lengths to ensure that their relationship remained an impenetrable fortress. For 21 Savage, this wasn't just a casual preference. It was a strict lifestyle choice. He is an artist who commands respect through his raw authenticity and street-certified persona. He built his brand on being calculated, quiet, and always 10 steps ahead of his enemies and the media. Protecting LATTO's honor and shielding their private world from the toxic commentary of the internet was his top priority. But everything changed the moment Katt Williams decided to open his mouth. Sources close to the situation claim that when Katt's commentary about LATTO's hidden past and early career industry alliances hit the internet, 21 Savage was completely blindsided. He didn't just feel annoyed. He felt absolutely violated. Imagine spending over 5 years meticulously building a protective wall around your partner's image, only for Hollywood's loudest whistleblower to bypass that wall in less than 5 minutes. The real tension brewing behind the scenes isn't just about the gossip. It's about the timing and the depth of what was allegedly exposed. The streets are talking, and insiders claim that some of the specific historical details Katt hinted at were things that 21 Savage himself was not fully prepared to navigate publicly. In the music industry, before an artist reaches superstar status, they often have to deal with intense contractual obligations, powerful gatekeepers, and complex social circles that dictate who they associate with. Katt's unfiltered remarks suggested that LATTO's early journey involved political compromises and deep-rooted industry ties that are now being dragged into the bright light of day. For a man like 21 Savage, who values loyalty and transparency above everything else, having his partner's past put on trial by a legendary comedian is a worst-case scenario. It forces him into a defensive position that he never wanted to be in. Reports indicate that the backstage drama in Atlanta is reaching a boiling point. Word on the street is that 21 Savage's inner circle is incredibly frustrated because this exposure threatens to disrupt the peaceful low-key life the couple has worked so hard to maintain, especially given all the massive headlines and intense spotlight surrounding them recently. When you are trying to build a genuine long-term future with someone away from the cameras, the last thing you need is the entire internet dissecting old rumors, analyzing ancient timelines, and questioning the authenticity of how your partner achieved her fame. Sources claim that 21 Savage's immediate reaction was one of pure anger, not at LATTO, but at the entire industry apparatus that allows figures like Katt Williams to dig up buried history whenever they feel like shaking up the culture. But the drama doesn't stop there. This situation has created a massive ripple effect throughout the entire hip-hop community. Other major artists, executives, and producers who are tied to both 21 Savage and LATTO are reportedly walking on eggshells. Nobody wants to take a side publicly because crossing Katt Williams means risking becoming his next target, while disrespecting 21 Savage could lead to serious issues in the Atlanta music scene. The silence from both camps on social media is deafening. Usually, when a fake rumor drops, an artist's team will issue a quick, generic denial to clear the air. But the fact that there has been no official statement, no angry tweets, and no defensive Instagram story speaks volumes. It proves that Katt's words struck a very sensitive, very real nerve. As the internet continues to piece together the puzzle, the pressure on 21 Savage is mounting. Fans are flooded under comment sections, tagging him in old clips of LATTO, and asking how he's going to respond to Katt's claims. For a rapper who prides himself on control, being at the mercy of a viral internet trend is agonizing. He is stuck between two impossible choices: either break his years of silence to defend LATTO's honor in a public feud against a master of roasts like Katt Williams, or remain silent and let the internet continue to run wild with the narrative that his partner has a hidden past he can't defend. The narrative shift is happening fast, and the quiet, protected world 21 Savage built is officially under siege. With the internet in an absolute frenzy and 21 Savage reportedly backed into a corner, we have to look at the bigger picture. What are the long-term consequences of this explosive situation? And what does it mean for the future of hip-hop's most private power couple? This isn't just a temporary lapse in the news cycle. This is a cultural shift. Katt Williams didn't just throw random stones at LATTO's house. He challenged the entire foundation upon which modern music stardom is built. And as the dust begins to settle, the industry is forced to reckon with the heavy reality of what happens when the curtain is pulled back too far. First, let's look at the immediate impact on LATTO's career and legacy. For the past few years, LATTO has been on an undeniable winning streak, dominating the airwaves, winning awards, and establishing herself as a force to be reckoned with. But the danger of an exposure like this is that it implants a seed of doubt in the minds of the public. When a figure with the credibility and fearlessness of Katt Williams claims that an artist's success is tied to a hidden past, secret agreements, or a corporate blueprint, it changes how the audience views their achievements. Every hit record, every major endorsement, and every chart-topping milestone suddenly gets viewed through a different lens. For LATTO, navigating this crisis requires an incredibly delicate balancing act. If she responds too aggressively, she risks feeding into the drama and giving Katt's claims even more oxygen. But if she remains completely silent, she allows the internet to write her story for her. And then there is the impact on the relationship itself. Hip-hop history is filled with power couples who collapsed under the immense weight of public scrutiny and industry politics. Protecting a romance in the dark is hard enough, but protecting it when a stadium-level spotlight is shining on your deepest secrets is almost impossible. Sources close to the Atlanta music scene suggest that this situation is putting an unprecedented amount of strain on 21 Savage and LATTO's dynamic. 21 Savage has always been a man of immense pride, someone who moves with absolute authority. Being dragged into a viral narrative that he cannot control or easily silence is a severe blow to his usual operations. The real test for this couple will be whether their foundation is strong enough to withstand the toxicity of the internet commentary, or if the pressure of these uninvited revelations will create a fracture that cannot be repaired. But beyond the personal drama, Katt Williams' actions have ignited a much larger conversation about the dark side of Hollywood and the music business. For decades, fans have suspected that the rise of major superstars isn't always as organic as the labels claim. We live in an era where audiences crave authenticity above everything else. People are tired of manufactured personas, media-trained answers, and carefully curated images. By targeting LATTO and blindsiding 21 Savage, Katt has once again positioned himself as the voice of the people, the man who is willing to say what everyone else is thinking but is too afraid to voice out loud. He has exposed the reality that in Hollywood, your past is never truly buried. It is simply waiting for the right moment or the right whistleblower to be dug back up. As we look toward the coming weeks, the question on everyone's mind is, who is going to break the silence first? Will 21 Savage release a subliminal track, addressing the haters and defending his woman with the raw street lyricism he is known for? Will LATTO address the hidden past head-on in her upcoming music, proving that she earned her crown regardless of what any critic or comedian has to say? Or will they continue to maintain their ironclad silence, hoping that the fast-moving internet will find a new scandal to obsess over tomorrow? One thing is guaranteed: the hip-hop community will be watching their every move, analyzing every single lyric, social media post, and public appearance for clues. This situation serves as a stark reminder that in the high-stakes game of celebrity culture, fame comes with a heavy price tag. You can change your name, you can change your style, and you can buy the biggest mansion in Atlanta, but the blueprint of how you got to the top will always remain. Katt Williams has fired the warning shot. 21 Savage is dealing with a shockwave, and LATTO is standing at a critical crossroads of her career. But now I want to hear from you. Is Katt Williams completely out of line for dragging up LATTO's early industry days? Or is he just exposing the raw, uncomfortable truth about how the music business operates? How do you think 21 Savage should handle this situation behind closed doors? Now we've laid out all the facts, the background blueprints, and the intense backstage drama. But the real question is, where do you stand on this entire situation? Katt Williams has officially thrown down the gauntlet, and the hip-hop world will never look at the industry the same way again. I want to hear your raw, unfiltered thoughts on this. Is Katt Williams completely out of line for digging up LATTO's early days and putting her past on trial, or is he just doing what he does best? shining a fearless light on the dark, calculated machinery of Hollywood. And what about 21 Savage? How do you think he should handle a situation where his ultimate boundary of privacy has been completely shattered? Do you think he should break his silence and drop a response? Or should they both just ignore the noise and let the internet run its course? Drop your theories, your hot takes, and your predictions in the comment section down below. I read every single comment, and I want to see a real, deep debate going on in the community today. If this deep dive gave you a whole new perspective on how the music industry operates, do me a massive favor. Smash that like button right now. It really helps the algorithm push these breakdowns to more hip-hop fans just like you. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you become part of the family and never miss a single explosive piece of celebrity news, exposed secrets, or industry breakdowns. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Keep your eyes open, and we will see you in the next video.